going on, everybody? Gregory here with SoFlo Scents, and today I want to bring you guys a video about 3 readily accessible men's fragrances you can find at most rack stores in the continental United States that I find are a great place for you to start if you're new in the world of fragrance. If you're a beginner getting into this, I think these are 3 good baseline fragrances worth getting your nose on, worth getting your hands on. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1 on the list, Spice Reserve by a company called True Fragrance. You can find this one at Marshalls and TJMaxx. You're going to pay less than $15 for it for the 100 ml. Early on, a couple years back, this was Spice Reserve. I've even seen it called Spice Voyage. The juice inside is absolutely the same. Nowadays, they're calling it Black. It's going to have pretty similar bottle. I think the lid or the cap is different. It's going to say 1956 Eau de Cologne Black. True Fragrance is still distributing it, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the same juice. And what this is doing a pretty good impression of is Giorgio Armani's Code. Now, Giorgio Armani Code has lemon and bergamot in the top. You have star anise in the middle. That's kind of the highlight. It gives it that black licorice vibe that I think makes the fragrance. There's some woods in the dry down and tonka, and it's a beautiful fragrance. And if you haven't had a chance to smell it, I would say get this one if you find it. Again, it's a cheapie. It's not the best performer. You're gonna get a couple hours, but for $13 to $15 for the full bottle, you can overspray it, you can take it with you, reapply, whatever you gotta do, or at the very least, it gives you a chance just to get familiar with that sort of scent if you haven't had the chance to. At number 2, it's going to be Ferrari Scuderia Black. Now, I've seen this guy the most at Ross, but I do believe I've seen it at some other rack stores, TJMaxx, Marshalls. Worth checking around. Again, if you're early and you haven't had the chance to smell Hugo Boss bottled. Now, this bottle here is a limited or a collector's edition, so it doesn't look like how it normally does. Normally, it would be a clear glass bottle like this one, but the juice is lighter. Now this is Hugo Boss Bottled Intense, and my recommendation is if you like this, I would immediately jump into Hugo Boss Bottled Intense and just skip the Eau de Toilette. They're very, very, very similar fragrances, but you're going to get a little bit better performance and longevity out of this. Now, speaking of performance and longevity, your Ferrari Scuderia Black, it's about average. Projection's not amazing. Again, similar to the first one on the list. You can go heavy, you can spray away, you can take it with you. This one especially, it's not a huge bottle, you know, just bring it in the car or whatever. As you go about your day, throw it in your lunch bag, whatever you gotta do, just refresh, not a big deal. Cheapy fragrance, but it does smell a lot like Boss Bottled, which arguably is kind of a timeless fragrance. It came out in the late 90s, but I don't think anything about it smells too dated. The notes for Hugo Boss Bottled are apple plum, bergamot, lemon, oak moss, and geranium up top. In the middle, cinnamon, mahogany, and carnation. And then in the base, vanilla, sandalwood, cedar, vetiver, and olive tree. How that really comes across to the nose is pretty much apple, cinnamon, vanilla, and woods. And I would say that the Ferrari Scuderia Black comes pretty darn close to that. That's the vibe you get. Hugo Boss Bottled is notorious for being that sort of apple pie fragrance. Not that you smell like an apple pie, but it does evoke that same sort of vibe because of the cinnamon and the apple working together. And the vanilla and the woods in the base. It's a nice, warm, spicy men's fragrance. And again, I'd recommend, if you're early on in your journey, haven't had a chance to smell the Boss Bottled, go for this. It's cheap, it doesn't smell bad, it works. And like I said, if you like this, go for the Boss Bottled Intense. Number 3, last on the list, it's Beverly Hills Polo Club Glaze. Now shout out to Dollars and Cents here on YouTube. He's pretty much the one that put me, and I'm sure a lot of others, onto this fragrance. He did a video a few years back. I'm so glad he put me on and that I grabbed this. Now I did grab this before I bought Spice Bomb, and when I first got a chance to really sit and sample Spice Bomb, I swore I wouldn't buy it because I said, no, I have Beverly Hills Polo Club Glaze. That's so close. This is a little more synthetic, and there's something a little bit special I find with Spice Bomb. This is damn close, but I just feel Spice Bomb just does it a little bit or a lot of bit better. I think this is a great baseline fragrance for a newbie because It has the tobacco, but it's light on it, and it kind of gives you a taste. It lets you get that feeler out for tobacco. Do you think you like it or do you not? Because I'll say for me, tobacco is hit or miss. Some fragrances I love, some I just don't really love. Bulgari Man in Black, it's a beautiful fragrance. It's kind of a grown-up version of Spice Bomb, but for me, I'm gonna grab Spice Bomb like 9 out of 10 times because I find Bulgari Man in Black to just be a little bit too mature for my liking. Now, I did finally cave and bought Spice Bomb. It's just worth having, I find. And really what happened was I bought Spice Bomb Extreme, which is a whole nother video. And started growing the line, and then I said, well, I guess I gotta get the first to do it. And yes, I do wear this from time to time. I've gotten some really, really good feedback from it, actually. A lot of people love to hate it. Oh, it's the ex-boyfriend fragrance. But honestly, I still think in 2022, going into 2023, this is still a really, really well-received fragrance from everybody, but especially ladies. Obviously, it's cool weather fragrance, but cool to cold, but really the Spice Bomb Extreme is your cold. This is more like your fall. Yes, winter, but it's more like your fall, and deep winter is gonna be Spice Bomb Extreme. But I love this one, and I love Beverly Hills Polo Club Blaze. It does a really, really nice job of smelling like Spice Bomb. Yes, it's a little bit more synthetic. Yes, the performance isn't amazing. You're gonna have to overspray it. You're gonna have to refresh every few hours, just like the others on the list, but it's not a bad fragrance at all. Notes on Spice Bomb: pink pepper, alamy, bergamot, grapefruit. Middle, cinnamon, saffron, and paprika. And then in the base, tobacco, leather, and vetiver. Now, I don't get any vetiver, thank God, because I can't stand vetiver most of the time. But what I really do get is the pink pepper, the cinnamon, the saffron, the paprika, and the tobacco. And that's speaking for Spice Bomb and this Polo Club Blaze. But to me, the Polo Club Blaze smells like a red hot candy or like a fireball candy, but in the best way possible. It still smells like a men's fragrance, but it's almost edible. And I love that about it. And I think most people are gonna like the way you smell with any of these. These are all pretty much safe grabs. I don't think any of them are offensive. And with that being said, if you're new to the world of fragrance, go get your nose on these. They're easy rack store grabs, sub $20 a piece. You might spend $45 to get all three, and I think they're a great baseline to really see what you like and what you maybe don't like, and what you want to spend coin on down the road, and what maybe you want to save your money on down the road. With all that being said, I'm Gregory. This is SoFlo Scents. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.